3, 2, 1, let's try this again. Good afternoon, my tacticians. This is Imperator Davius, your fedora-wearing Retrium, and today I'm bringing you some tactical knowledge regarding the defensive moves that all Pokemon can learn, or at least most of them can learn, as well as the moves that are unique to various Pokemon. So the first one is probably going to be the most iconic defensive move any Pokemon can learn, provided it can learn it by TM, is Protect. As its name suggests, Protect protects against pretty much everything the Pokemon can throw against you. So, first of all, Protect is going to be a very defensive move. It has a priority +3. If it's used consecutively, it will have a chance of failing by about 50% each time it's used consecutively. But what makes Protect interesting is that it also has a counter Pokemon move in Detect. So Detect operates similarly to what Protect does, but as you'll notice right about here, Detect has half of the PP that Protect offers. Now Impy, you may be asking yourself this, Impy, why would I use Detect if Protect offers more protection than what Detect does? Well, there is a benefit to using the move Detect, despite both of them doing the same job, having the same priority, same negative downsides as one or the other, and that is the move Imprison. So there are several Pokemon that can learn Imprison, and if they just so happen to know the move Protect, which pretty much any Pokemon can learn, and since most people prefer Protect over Detect, they will often run Protect over Detect simply because of the fact that you can run more Protects than you can Detects. And what Prison does is, if it's activated, any move that the user of this move has cannot be used by the opponent. So if the opponent knows, say, Protect, which you can probably expect them to, then Imprison will enable the opponent, or will prevent the opponent from using their defensive move, which is Protect. However, not every Pokemon runs Detect, and not every Pokemon can run Detect, which is why you see some people using Detect. It's a countermeasure to the move Imprison, which, while very rare, can catch people off guard and is very popular if you want to shut someone down, specifically because you know they're going to be running a specific move set. So the next move we're going to be looking at is a move called Endure. So Endure operates similarly to Detect and Protect in that the negative says if it's used consecutively, it will have a chance of failing 50% of the time. But what Endure does is it sets it so that any attacking move that hits the Pokemon, it will endure the attack up until 1 HP, and it will continue to survive the turn at 1 HP no matter how many times you hit it. You can hit it with 4 Fusion Flares and it will still stay on the field on that turn at 1 HP. So that's what Endure does. It's not going to protect it against any of the status conditions or any status moves such as that, and if it's suffering a burn, it will not protect it against that burn from, finishing off the 1 HP it has. But Endure is good for fighting Pokemon, but actually I think a lot of fighting Pokemon know the move Endure, and it's good for those Pokemon that want to endure a certain number of attacks, especially if they're going to go for, like, say, revenge moves or so. Moves that deal more damage the lower health a Pokemon has. So the next move we're going to be looking at is Wide Guard. Wide Guard is a move that's designed to protect against very let's see, how's the best way to say this? Moves such as Surf, such as Earthquake, Rock Slide, moves that are designed to hit multiple targets on the team. So if you have a move that's designed to hit both of the opponents, Wide Guard is a move that's designed to protect against all those moves. Now, consequentially, similar to its fellow moves, Endure and Detect and Protect, Wide Guard is going to fail 50% of the time if it's used consecutively, so you can't just spam it out there over and over again. So that's going to be an interesting move. Wide Guard is very effective at stopping those very powerful multi-target Pokemon moves that people like to run because they want to knock out as many Pokemon as they can, as effectively as they can. And the best way to do that is with a multi-hitting move. So the next move we're going to be looking at is the brother of Wide Guard, and that is Quick Guard. So Quick Guard is a priority move that is designed to counter priority moves, such as extreme speed, bullet punch, fake out. It's just designed to prevent any Pokemon from using a priority move, and this is also moves that are given priority thanks to abilities such as Pranksters, such as Gale Wings, moves that are given priority thanks to an ability or status or something like that. This move is designed to counter them. This is like the final defense against any priority Brave Birds that your team may face, priority Prankster moves. It's just that one move that if you use it might save your life, but at the same time it's designed only to counter priority moves. If the opponent isn't going to be using priority moves, well, you're kind of in a pickle then, because that's the only thing Quick Guard does. That's all it is designed to do. Similar to Wide Guard is only designed to protect against multi-hitting moves such as Rock Slide. Quick Guard is only designed to be protecting against priority move. So that's going to be Quick Guard, Wide Guard, that's in your Detect and Protect. Now we're moving on to the unique defensive moves, which are unique only to a select set of Pokemon, and one of those is going to be Spiky Shield. So Spiky Shield is a move that operates similar to Protect and Detect, but offers a little bit of a benefit in that if the opponent tries to use a physical attacking move, such as they say they want to tackle into the Spiky Shield, they're going to be taking some damage. They're going to be taking a bit of damage for attacking a Pokemon with this move. It operates similarly to Protect. It has priority. It offers great benefits to the Pokemon that uses it, and it offers a really negative downside to the opponent, especially for those who are, sweepers and want to keep their Focus Sashes. This is a good way to cancel out any Focus Sash users. So, moving on to our next one, it's gonna be the King's Shield, the signature move of Aegislash. So, King's Shield is very unique in that while what it offers is extremely dangerous for physical attacking Pokemon, especially physical attackers that need to make contact with their moves, and a negative downside that can really hurt Aegislash, and pretty much the only other Pokemon that can use it that can use the King Shield, which is Smeargle, and that is King Shield will not protect against status moves. Even though it doesn't say it here, King Shield will not protect against status moves. So if someone wants to run a Will-O-Wisp against a King Shield user, well, the King Shield will not protect against status moves. So what does King Shield do? If the opponent tries to strike you and you use King Shield, their attack is going to get lowered by 2 stages. That's assuming they use a physical attack. So similar to Spiky Shield, King Shield needs a physical attacker to hit it for its effects to take active. So a physical contact needs to be made with a King Shield user in order to actually get these benefits for you and negatives for the opponent. So if an opponent is targeted by King Shield and the user makes contact with it, the opponent is going to have their attack lowered by 2 stages. That can be very, very devastating to people. So moving on to our next shield, it's going to be the Crafty Shield. So Crafty Shield is the signature move, or was the signature move of, I believe it was, I forget which Pokemon it was, but I think it was Klefki. There we go, Klefki. So Crafty Shield is the signature move of Klefki, and what Crafty Shield does is it protects against status moves, status category moves. So think of it as the opposite of what King Shield protects against. King Shield protects against offensive moves. Crafty Shield protects against status moves, including priority status moves. So that's what the Crafty Shield is designed to do, protect against those priority status moves. However, it does not protect against the attacking moves, which is what the King Shield is about. But what Crafty Shield can do is protect your entire team. And even though it says here its accuracy drops to 50% if used consecutively after itself, it can actually be spammed if used by Klefki, or I believe Magiurna. If used by Magiurna and Klefki, it can be spammed repeatedly over and over to protect against all status moves. But if you're going to be using that over and over again, you're going to be really exposing yourself. You gotta hope that you don't have any physical attacking Pokemon or Pokemon that use offensive moves again on your opponent's side of the field in order to do something like that. But it is a good way to protect against status moves such as Will-O-Wisp, such as Dark Void if they do run that. Other status moves such as maybe Yawn or so. Basically, this is what you want to use for anything you want to protect against, such as status moves. I'm getting such tongue twisters. And the final Baneful Bunker is Baneful Bunker. I don't know why I said that twice, but Baneful Bunker is the signature move of Toxapex. So, Toxapex's move operates similarly to Protect, similarly to Detect, similar to Spiky Shield and King Shield, but unlike King Shield, in which it lets the status conditions hit it, Baneful Bunker does not let that happen. But what Baneful Bunker does do is that if the opponent makes direct contact with the user of Baneful Bunker, they are going to get poisoned. So that is a fun job for you. So if you can get the Baneful Bunker off, say, "Hey boys, come and hit me." And if they try to hit you, then they're going to get poisoned for their trouble. So you're not going to be doing active damage to them, you're not going to be reducing their statuses or so like King Shield and Spiky Shield do, but you are going to poison them, and that alone is a huge threat to some teams. They do not want to have their Pokemon be poisoned, unless of course they're guts, in which case they will gladly accept the poison. So those are just some of the moves that you can run for your defensive Pokemon if you have any of these Pokemon. These are what they can do, what they offer, some of their pros, some of their cons. However, there are some downsides to using these moves. Moves such as Protect can be worked around. There are some moves specifically designed to break and counter these Protect moves. So one of those moves is going to be Feint, which is a priority move. It's designed to break through any defensive move such as Protect, as well as deal some damage and lift the effects of these moves. There are other moves such as Phantom Force. You probably might see a Mismagius or so, or even see, Mismagius. Ghost types that use the move Phantom Force can get around Protect if they just so happen to run the move they attack on with Protect or with Phantom Force. It can break through those moves, get behind them, break the effects and lift them so that another Pokemon can hit them. But if you do run these, you have to be careful about what their downsides are and what their upsides are. Protect is probably the most reliable defensive move you can have, but if you want to run something else, especially if you are afraid of moves such as Imprison, it's not a very popular move, it's not something you're going to see very often, but if they do run Imprison and they have the move Protect, then you're going to be in a little bit of a trouble because you can't run those moves either on any of your Pokemon until that Pokemon is KO'd. So these are just some of the ideas if you want to run some of these defensive moves for your Pokemon, especially if you have these Pokemon that can run them, what they offer, some of their benefits, and you've just heard some of their downsides. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something today, and I will see you all later. Thank you for watching. I'm Imperator Davius, your Fedora Russian Wishing Man, and I'm getting tongue twisted, and I will see you all later. Bye bye.
I'm taking in what I can get, but I can't find the answers yet. Head underwater, slow my mind. I hold my breath until I'm found.